You think bedtime is just about a blanket and a bowl of water, but that's not the real reason your dog wakes up restless.
Start the night with 3 quiet minutes. Turn off screens, lower lights, sit near them, and breathe slower than usual. Your calm is contagious. Dogs mirror arousal. If your nervous system is still buzzing, theirs will be too. This tiny ritual signals safety before sleep.
Most owners treat night like the end of the day. That's a mistake. Dogs treat night as a long stretch of vulnerability. Their instincts keep them scanning for threats and changes. When you rearrange the bedroom, change the blanket, or leave a light on, you're creating micro-uncertainty. That's enough to trigger vigilance. What looks like restlessness is actually an instinctive readiness to protect or escape.
Change 1. Predictable timing. Move lights out to the same minute every night. Dogs are creatures of routine. A consistent bedtime anchors their circadian rhythm and lowers stress hormones. Over time, their internal clock learns this exact moment equals safety. Don't be tempted to be flexible 3 nights a week. Inconsistency keeps them alert.
But timing alone won't solve everything. Change 2. The transition cue. Use a single, soft cue word or action. A short phrase like bedtime said once, or the sound of a low chime. Pair it with the 3 quiet minutes and nothing else. This creates a learned signal that predicts rest, so their brain starts winding down before they even lie down. Skip the cue, and you force their brain to decide each night whether this moment is safe.
There's a hidden element most owners never consider: sensory anchoring. Change 3. Scent. Dogs experience the world through smell. Giving them a worn cotton t-shirt with your scent placed near their head acts like a social anchor. It lowers cortisol and increases oxytocin. Not perfume, not a synthetic dog scent. Something that smells like you and you only. Change it every few days. Swap it too often and you erase the anchor.
Every 20-30 seconds, you should be wondering, what happens if this stops? If you remove the scent, will they wake? If they stop hearing the cue, will they search? These micro-tests help you understand which anchor matters most. Most owners never test. They assume it's the bed, when really it's the combination of timing, cue, and scent.
Change 4. Movement containment, not punishment. If your dog paces or wakes and wanders, crate or gated confinement done right feels like a den, not a prison. Introduce it gradually with positive association, a treat, a brief cozy session, then release. Never use the crate after scolding. If your dog associates confinement with punishment, they'll avoid settling there. The right containment reduces startling awakenings and prevents them from performing accidental alarm behaviors that wake you both.
Scientific note: in mammals, sleep cycles include light sleep with frequent scanning for danger. Dogs evolved to have more of those lighter cycles when sleeping near humans. By decreasing environmental unpredictability, you shift more of their rest into deeper, restorative stages. That's how you actually change their sleep architecture, not with more treats, but with stability. But what about temperature and texture? Change 5. Thermoregulation and bedding choice. Dogs sleep better at a slightly cooler temperature than most humans like. Aim for a room a few degrees lower than you'd expect. Choose bedding that holds your scent but doesn't overheat them. Breathable fabrics, a thin pad rather than a mountain of blankets. Dogs who overheat shift and wake. Owners pile blankets because it looks cozy. Dogs prefer steady, comfortable temperatures that mimic natural den conditions. Pause. If your dog suddenly stops settling after you implement all 5 changes, there's something owners frequently miss: pain or discomfort. Subtle arthritis, dental pain, or an upset stomach will override routines. Restlessness that resists every environmental fix deserves a vet check. Don't convince yourself it's just habit. If this is changing how you see your dog, hit like and subscribe. It helps more owners stop misreading their pets. Here's the psychological backbone. Dogs balance approach and avoidance drives.
At night, avoidance, safety seeking, is dominant. Your job is to shift the environment, so approach, relaxation, attachment wins. Predictable timing lowers avoidance. A clear cue moves cognition from scanning to expectation. Scent anchors emotional safety. Gentle containment removes complex choices. Temperature prevents physiological interruptions. Together, they tip the scales.
Imagine your dog before you change anything. Half alert, scanning small noises, repositioning every 10-15 minutes, occasionally whining. Now picture the same dog after a month of consistent timing, a bedtime cue, your shirt at their head, a comfortable pad, and gentle containment. They breathe slower. Their body flops deeper. When you touch them, there isn't the reflexive tensing. That's not magic. That's learned safety.
Don't underestimate the subtlety of cues. A single misplaced pattern can undo progress. Late-night snacks, impromptu play before bed, or a partner who turns on a TV for an hour. Those small transfers of arousal slip past notice, but keep their brain oscillating. Think of every nighttime action as either a safety increment or a vigilance increment. If you add more vigilance increments than safety ones, you'll never get deep sleep.
There's also a surprising emotional benefit. When your dog sleeps calm, their daytime behavior improves. Less reactive barking, fewer separation stress signals, and more relaxed greetings. Dogs consolidate emotional learning during sleep. Better nights create better days. Finally, the deepest insight. Your dog's rest is a reflection of how safe they feel with you. By designing a bedtime that signals predictability, social support, and physiological comfort, you aren't just improving sleep, you're strengthening their trust in you. That trust shows up in small things: a softer look, a willingness to be handled, a quicker return when called. One last loop. If they begin to sleep too deeply and you fear they won't wake when necessary, remember, dogs maintain a balance. Their wake thresholds adapt. Deep sleep after consistent safety isn't dangerous. It's evidence of trust. But sudden, excessive lethargy paired with other symptoms needs vet attention.
Tonight, try this. Set the same lights out time. Use a soft one-word cue once, sit quietly for 3 minutes, place a worn shirt near their head, and adjust the room temperature down a few degrees. No late play, no extra treats. If they resist, slow the changes over a week. Small steps win trust.
Your dog isn't just closing their eyes. They're deciding whether the world is safe enough to let go. When you shape the night, you give them permission to rest. And that permission is one of the deepest forms of care you can offer.